What's up, guys? Welcome back to Gotians Games and welcome back to another honest review. And in today's video we are discussing Resident Evil 2, the remake or reimagining that came out this past week. And now that I've played through the game, I've beaten both Leon and Claire's story, the A sides. I still have the B sides to go through each one. I want to give my honest 100% honest review on this game. You know, now that the hype is calmed down a little bit for me, and the fan goggles are now taken off the game. And honestly, before I get into my review, the best way I could put it for how I feel about this game is just Capcom freaking nailed it. And the reason why, like, I'm gonna put some gameplay probably on this corner right here for you guys without going into any spoilers or anything. I want to break this down into a couple of things. Graphics. Obviously the graphics are going to be drastic improvement from the original Resident Evil 2, which came out in 1998. I believe it was. I have it right here, which came out in 1998. The original Resident Evil 2, which I absolutely love the game. You know, I always said the Resident Evil 3 was my favorite game, or as far as the Resident Evil series went. Resident Evil 2 was always number 2 for me. It was weird. So it was, you know, when I ranked, because I did a full ranking of Resident Evil games on this channel before, my top 5 ranking, or top 5 Resident Evil games, and Resident Evil Remake, or Resident Evil 1, the remake of it on the GameCube, was number 1. Now, you're probably like, well, you just said Resident Evil 3 is your favorite one. Yes, but that doesn't mean that I think it's the best one in the series. So, up until this came out, Resident Evil 1 Remake on the GameCube was absolutely the best Resident Evil game, in my honest opinion. This one surpasses that. And it's very hard to do. It is very, very hard to surpass something that sets the bar and the expectations so high. So first things first, graphics wise, they spare no expense taking full use of the graphical capabilities, whether you're playing it on your PS4, your Xbox, your PS4 Pro, your Xbox One X, or whatever it's called, or if you're playing on your computer. They take full advantage of what your system can do. So I absolutely love that. I honestly, this game almost makes me want to buy a PS4 Pro to play it in that, you know, in that aspect of just like 4K and all that stuff. But I don't have a 4K television, so it kind of makes no difference if I buy a PS4 Pro. But okay, so graphics wise, they freaking nailed it. The way that the zombies are fully detailed, I absolutely love. And then the fully, you know, all the attention to detail on the guns and the costumes. If Leon takes damage, you see it. You know, as you progress through the game, the outfits get dirtier, they get torn up, you know, everything, because they're going through this hardship of survival. And you get that full sense just by looking at the outfits of the characters. You know, seeing the cinematics where the zombie in the beginning, you know, is biting the sheriff, and that's not a spoiler because that was in the trailer, where the zombie bites the sheriff, and or the deputy or whatever he was, and you just see like the blood dripping, you know, to all the way to even the final boss fights. You know, all the little details that they put into it. Oh my god, it's incredible. The part where, you know, you're Leon or Claire, either one who you're playing, you're trying to save the cop, and he gets torn in half by zombies, and you see the entrails of that officer. Oh my god, It is so incredibly detailed. I absolutely love it. As gruesome as it is, I absolutely love all the attention to detail they put into this game, as you know, graphics wise, and making the design of the police station at Raccoon City. The only thing that I wish that we could have done was explore Raccoon City a little bit more, but that makes me excited for them potentially making Resident Evil 3 Nemesis and remaking it just like this. I would, you know, before I sidetrack into Resident Evil 3, I'll leave that to the end, but you know, the little bit that we saw of Raccoon City was fantastic, and I would absolutely love to see more of it, especially in this atmosphere. Now let's talk about atmosphere. They captured the atmosphere so well. The sense of dread and the sense of survival and the constant fear of running out of ammo, running low on healing items and things just to make it through the game, that made Part 1 and Part 2 so iconic and so valuable towards the survival horror theme that we have these days. You know, this game, oh my god, they perfected that. In my honest opinion, they perfected it in both playthroughs, Leon and Claire. I had that sense of dread, that constant sense of, oh my god, am I gonna be running out of ammo? Is there a boss fight coming up? Do I kill these zombies? Do I run around them? Because there's only a limited amount of ammo that's in the game, and I don't want to be stuck in a bad situation. There were numerous times where I was very, very low on ammo, and to the point that I didn't know if I could kill the boss because of that. You know, there was perfect example was with Claire when I was fighting William Birkin the first time. It was just like I was unloading everything I had onto him, and by the time the fight was done, I had one bullet left in my handgun and I think 2 bazooka rounds or grenade rounds or whatever you want to call it. Like, if that fight had gone on at least 10 seconds longer, I would not have survived. I would have been dead. It's like, nope, can't do it at that point. So there was a lot of times where it's like, I am way too low on ammo to have to deal with these zombies here, because I'm going that way and I need to save it for the boss. So if I get bit by one of these zombies, fine. I would rather take the bite, run around on caution or danger for a couple minutes until I got to a safety deposit box or an item box so I can get some heals going. They nailed it. The atmosphere with the music, hearing the zombies in the background because of the city, like the zombie wails through the city. The way that the zombies could break through the windows, they could break through the boards that you put up to blockade the windows. It was amazing. The lickers were probably the most horrifying thing of this game. And while I will always remember that licker cinematic that was in the original Resident Evil 2, seeing the lickers for the first time in this game was absolutely more terrifying than anything the original game could throw at you at that point. The design of the lickers are just so scary. Like, if I could hear them, I wanted to make damn sure I could see a licker, because I wanted to avoid that as much as possible, because they're so damn hard to kill in this game. It is absolutely ridiculous. And the game even tells you there is no shame in running from lickers. And I'm going to tell you from playing the game, there is no shame in running from lickers. And, you know, it's, oh man, they just did it so well with the zombies, the lickers, the way that the different enemies were, the dogs, the plant zombies. They just nailed every single one of the enemy designs. It was fantastic. Fantastic. Like I said, the music, it's in the background. You hear the music. At some points it gets intense, just like with encounters with boss fights or Mr. X. The music just intensifies to give you that, oh my god, you know, I'm about to die if I don't find a way out of here. you know, they did such a good job with it, and creating that atmosphere is very important in horror games. The lighting was done very well. So I've heard some people complain that it was a little too dark. I don't think so. I think the lighting was done absolutely perfect, because if you think about it, there's no power. The city is taken over by zombies. Power is knocked out. You're running on generators or backup power, or power is flickering because the power plants or the power lines are down. I completely get it. The police station in a lot of places was dark. All you had was a flashlight. And so you heard zombies. You heard the lickers. You hear them in the background in the hallways. You're like looking around every corner to make sure, is there a zombie there? If there is, how can I avoid it? Is there a licker there? If there is, how do I avoid that? Like, it's absolutely fantastic. Last thing for me that I want to talk about, story. The story feels like a different game. Even though there are a lot of elements that are very similar, and there's a lot of scenes that they kept from the original game, because I felt like they needed to keep it, because it was very important that they did, and I'm absolutely glad they kept certain scenes in this game. There are a lot of things that they changed. Case in point, the first encounter with Leon and Claire, they changed it. The way that the kendo shop, the way that you encounter it, they changed it. There's a lot of things they added. They added an orphanage, which gives a whole nother level of just horror when you're playing through with Claire. Like, the changes are good. In some games, when they make changes on remakes or reimaginings or whatever, you kind of like, you're like, are they gonna change this? Is it gonna be bad? Am I gonna like this change? Well, I loved all the changes. A lot of times the changes in the game actually added more to the story and added more to the characters in the game. You know, Leon and Ada's story, or their interactions together, I feel is a lot more fleshed out because of this game now moving forward. So now, after playing this game, now if I go and play Resident Evil 4, like, I have a better feeling, like, or a better sense of understanding the way that Leon and Ada's story is. Going into part 6, I have that better understanding because of this game for Leon and Ada's story. So it added so much more to the overall lore, as opposed to, you know, just adding changes just because. Like Resident Evil 1, they added Lisa Trevor. They added a lot of things like Crimson Head zombies. You had to, in Resident Evil 1, you had to burn the zombies' bodies or else they came back as Crimson Heads. I wish they kept this in Resident Evil 2, but they didn't. Instead, they changed it. They made zombies a lot harder to kill, to the point that it's like, I had to, like, if a zombie was down, I had to keep shooting him, or else he would be coming back and I'd have to deal with it later, because I'm gonna have to go through that hall again later. So, you know, it just added that much more, to the point where it's like, okay, I'm running out of ammo because I'm like double checking all these zombies at that point. And it's absolutely insane that they actually made you do that. And I love it. I love it so much. Sherry's story with Claire and Sherry's mom, like, I feel again is a lot more fleshed out because of this game. You get that sense where it's like, you know, a bit of redeeming factor in Annette Birkin. I'm not going to ruin anything for you, but in order to get that sense of redemption for that character, you have to play both stories, Leon and Claire. Like, if you play Leon, you feel one way about Annette, but then you play Claire, you feel that you get a little bit more into the story to complete it, and then it's like, wow, okay, this is different. This is different, and I like it a lot. So, if I'm gonna rate this game, I mean, I could just go on and on about this game. Oh my god, Capcom, marvelous Capcom. If I'm gonna rate this game, I'm giving Resident Evil a 9.5 out of 10. Like, you absolutely have to play this game. You guys absolutely have to play this game. 9.5 out of 10. The only reason why I'm not giving it a 10, only reason, is the alligator boss fight. That is the only reason why I'm not giving it a 10. If they didn't change that fight, you would have gotten a 10 out of me. But that fight took it away a little bit. Other than that, everything else was just fantastic. A near perfect game. Very, very good job on Capcom's part. And I really cannot wait to see more. Like, I want Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. They don't even need to call it Resident Evil 3 if they don't want to. Those of you guys who don't know, Resident Evil 3 was not initially supposed to be Part 3. It was just supposed to be like a side story taking place during Part 2. And they were just going to call it Resident Evil Nemesis, but they titled it Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. And Code Veronica was supposed to be Part 3, but instead, Code Veronica got the side story treatment, and that's why it's Resident Evil Code Veronica. And then we have Resident Evil 4. So they kind of switched it between Resident Evil 3 and Code Veronica as far as which one was going to be the numbered one in the series. But I want to see Resident Evil 3 done in this fashion. Oh my god, I want it now. Like, even to the point that they don't have to release it as a separate game. They could just do it as a DLC. And because everything's already in here. You have Raccoon City and you have the police station. It's all there. Obviously, they got to add more to Raccoon City and add everything else, but the basis of it is here already. Now, you know, if they do it as a DLC, $40, I'd be okay paying $40 for DLC in this case, because it would be a complete game. It wouldn't just be a you know, DLC that you can play for half an hour. No, it would be a complete game because it's Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. So just title it Resident Evil Nemesis as a DLC addition to this game, and right there you got yourself my money easy, man. You got my money easy. To see the Nemesis, just like, you know, seeing Mr. X or William Birkin, or you know, like just everything that's in Nemesis, I want to see it here. I absolutely do. Man, I can't say enough about this game. You have to play it, guys. You have to play it. With that, guys, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and thank you so much for watching the video. I will be streaming side Bs for both Leon and Claire soon, and I hope to see you all there. And if you did play the game, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. With that, I will catch you all later. You guys have a great rest of your day. Peace out, guys.